Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. I just hope that you're fine wherever you are today. There's something that Westerners probably made us feel bad about. That is the population which kept on increasing in Africa. Well, now what's happening in the USA, it's the opposite. Majority of people, the population in the US is declining, and this is something that I've always been saying. Now, in this video, I'm going to share with you a clip about Black Americans, telling out the things that they feel about the declining population of the white people, specifically the white people. And this also explains majority of things which have been happening to black women and children, which entail a number of things, which is also included in the video. I wanted to watch this video and then come back, say something as usual, as you usually do.
And this is all about saving the master race from extinction. This clip that I'm going to show you, this is Senator Tuberville, whatever, but this clip is really telling. Just watch this.
Do you have a reaction to the Alabama Supreme Court ruling on the fact that embryos are children?
Yeah, I was all for it. We need to have more kids. We need to have an opportunity to do that. And I thought this was the right thing to do. But
IVF is used to have more children, and right now IVF services are paused at some of the clinics in Alabama. Aren't you concerned that this could impact people who are trying to have kids?
Well, that's for another conversation. People need to have. We need more kids. We need the people to have the opportunity to have kids.
Senator, what do you say to the women right now in Alabama who no longer have access to IVF, or who will not, as a result of this ruling? What do you say to them?
Well, that's a hard one. It really is. It's really hard. Because, again, you want people to have that opportunity. And that's what I was telling her. We need more kids.
When he says we, I think we all know that he is not talking about a single black mother in the projects. There is a very specific group of people that they are concerned are not having enough children. And I think it might have something to do with the fact that white people are predicted to become a minority in the U.S. by 2045.
So, hey guys, I just want to unpack a little bit more of what the dumbest member of the United States Senate, Tommy Tuberville, was saying in his "We need more kids" answer to the journalists who were asking him about the IVF ruling in Alabama.
Do you have a reaction to the Alabama Supreme Court ruling on the fact that embryos are children?
Yeah, I was all for it. We need to have more kids. We need to have an opportunity to do that. And I thought this was the right thing to do. But
IVF is used to have more children, and right now IVF services are paused at some of the clinics in Alabama. Aren't you concerned that this could impact people who are trying to have kids?
Well, that's for another conversation. People need to have. We need more kids. We need the people to have the opportunity to have kids.
So I have a couple of questions. Question number one, who's the we? I mean, you're a federal officer. You're a United States Senator. Are you saying the federal government needs more kids? Because I wasn't aware that there was a federal mandate for the government of the United States to demand an increase in population. Where does that mandate come from? Who's the we? The federal government needs more kids? For what? The United States has a population of north of 327 million people. Why do we need more kids? I mean, your party, Senator Tuberville, is the one screaming that 10 million immigrants, which I don't even know that number even makes any sense, because it doesn't, have streamed into the country since Joe Biden has been president, and you're claiming that that's too many people, that if more people come into the southern border, this is some sort of crisis because we've got too many people and we've got no more space and we can't afford more people. But now you're saying we need more kids? Can you explain who's the we and what's the purpose? You're also a senator from the state of Alabama. God help the people there. Are you saying the state of Alabama needs more kids? Why does the state of Alabama need more kids? More kids for what? There was a time when the state of Alabama absolutely needed more kids because, Alabama was a slave state. And the mandate of the planter class in Alabama was for black women to produce more kids because those kids were property. And they could work more kids and make more money on their plantations. Are you saying the state of Alabama needs more kids because you think that those populations will include people who are maybe destitute and desperate enough if you kick out the immigrants like a lot of y'all want to do, and you could make them do the work that the migrants are doing now? Because that kind of sounds slavery-ish. Is the state of Alabama the we? And is that the why? I mean, you're also a white guy. Are you saying the we is white folks need more kids? Is this like a great replacement thing where you're concerned that there's not enough white people in the population versus the growth of the Latino population, the black population, the Asian American population? And so the we is white people need to make white women have more kids, and that's the we and that's the why? Because it's a little creepy. A little Handmaid's Tale, don't you think? And then there's the issue of IVF itself. IVF is not a cheap procedure. It's actually extremely expensive. It can cost like up to $50,000. And what women do in couples that are trying to use IVF to have children, they essentially, fertilize them outside the womb, and then they freeze the embryos. And you often have to freeze a lot of them because you just don't know how many of you implant them in your womb are actually going to take, right? Are actually going to attach and form a viable pregnancy. So oftentimes people will freeze like 10, 11, a dozen embryos. But the fact that they're frozen means by definition they're not alive. I mean, if you froze an actual baby, that baby would be dead. So the fact that they're frozen means by definition they're not alive. They're frozen tissue. That's why you can freeze them. But no, not the state of Alabama. They say those are already babies. Those are living babies, even though they're frozen tissue. So if you are an affluent couple, a rich lady, mainly a rich white lady, who are freezing their embryos because they want to have a baby, and you freeze a dozen embryos, and then you implant 3 of them, and 1 of them takes, are the other 2 considered homicides? What about the ones you don't implant? Those remaining embryos that maybe you don't want to have any kids. The first one took, you got your kid now, you don't want another one. Are you forced to implant the rest? If you don't implant the rest, is that homicide? This is the reason that the IVF clinics in the state of Alabama can't operate anymore. They don't want to be accessories to murder. And the women and the couples who decide they don't want to use like some of their additional embryos that they don't implant and that they don't try to implant, they don't want to be considered murderers either. And are you going to be forced to like donate those embryos that you don't try to implant in yourself to someone else so they can make more kids? Because we need more kids, and those kids are also alive, pre-alive, frozen. The chaos that's being introduced into the system by these Handmaid's Tale Republicans is actually bananas crazy. Because what you're going to have is a lot of rich ladies who now can't have babies because IVF is the way they were going to do it. While poor women and poor girls, 12-year-olds, 11-year-olds, who get pregnant via rape, they're going to be forced to have babies. So here's the crazy calculus in places like Alabama. Poor women who don't have the means to get out of Alabama and escape to a free state, are going to be forced to have babies. So you're going to have a lot more poor babies. But you're not going to have rich women, affluent women who can afford IVF, able to use that to have more kids. So what you'll increase is the number of poor kids in the state of Alabama, which is very convenient for the wealthy Alabamans who would love to have a cheap, desperate workforce of poor people that have to work for low wages without a union. How convenient that is, and how like the old antebellum system that some of these people seem to miss so much. It's awfully convenient, but I guarantee you there's going to be a lot of unhappy, affluent ladies in the state of Alabama who can no longer take advantage of IVF because of people like Tommy Tuberville. Well done, Alabama. Well done. You had Doug Jones. You traded him for Tommy Tuberville. Oh, and your Dominionist Supreme Court and their 7 mountains Dominionist belief system, that is the precursor to the Handmaid's Tale, because that's about taking over every aspect of life, from the family to entertainment to education, and putting it in the hands of far right-wing Christian evangelical extremists. Well done. Well done, Alabama. Under his eye.
And the fact that embryos are children?
Yeah, I was all for it. We need to have more kids. We need to have an
I am genuinely fucking asking this question. This is a 100% genuine fucking question. And it goes out to anyone who has ever played for Auburn University under Tommy Tuberville. Why? There's no fucking way this man, who is a blatant white supremacist, there's no fucking way you're gonna tell me black and brown players, Samoan players, you are not about to fucking tell me y'all didn't know that. There's no fucking way. None. I'm not even shocked at the levels that Tommy Tuberville goes to sometimes. I'm not. Nothing that comes out of that man's mouth surprises me. Nothing. He is a white former football coach from the state of Alabama. I am not surprised. What I am surprised is this. Any fucking player that used to play for that man, y'all have not come out and said a goddamn thing about some of this shit coming out of his mouth. You know damn well he does not. Miss Tucker just went in on exactly why. Go back and watch her video. You'll understand what I'm talking about. My ire and my misunderstanding, like my complete confusion, isn't with the Tommy Tubervilles. It's not. But he's a former fucking football coach. Where is it? Where are his former black players? Where are they? I don't care if they're in the NFL. I don't care if they're retired and working at ESPN or whatever. Where the fuck are y'all? Y'all hear this shit. Y'all hear this shit. Okay? This is the same man, the exact same man that held up promotions in the United States military, held them up because he did not like the fact that the armed forces offer for their service members to go out of state if they need abortion care. And he held this shit up for months. This is a man who has a problem or had a problem with the Secretary of Defense, which is Lloyd Austin, wanting to weed out white supremacists and Nazi fucking sympathizers from the armed forces. Tommy fucking Tuberville had a problem with that. Go back and look at it. Nothing I'm saying I'm making up. The question I have for all of his former black and brown players is this. Where are y'all? Where the fuck y'all at? How come y'all are not standing up and denouncing this man? Why? Why is it not the imperative of his former black players to call this motherfucker the fuck out? I don't care if you are a Republican former player for Tommy Tuberville. My problem is still going to be this man is blatantly white supremacist. Are you not going to say anything? I get it. The Republican Party will never say shit. Alabama politics, they breed the Tommy Tubervilles of the world. I ain't worried about them because I know exactly what I got with them. I know it. But you mean to tell me the whole time that man coached at Auburn, he had black players? You mean to tell me this is the first time y'all noticed this? Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of my face with that bullshit. There's no earthly fucking way y'all didn't know this man was like this. And there is equally no earthly fucking way y'all not saying something about it. Oh, well, it's Coach Tuberville. He helped me. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I do not care. Fundamentally, there is nothing Tommy Tuberville taught you in football that equals the bullshit he's doing in the Senate. Nothing. Not a goddamn thing. And you're not about to sit here and tell me, oh, I didn't know that. The fuck you didn't? You think he just woke up one day and was like this? No. Absolutely the fuck not. Tommy Tuberville has been like this. Been like this. This is not new. There is nothing new about this shit. So why is there not a big ass uproar from his former black players to his blatantly obvious white supremacist views? Where is it at? This is the man that said the woke ideology has taken over the United States military. Oh, you mean like when Truman integrated it? Truman must be the most woke motherfucker on the planet because he's the first person that integrated the goddamn United States military. We've been woke since 1940 something. The fuck are you talking about? Where are the black players? Where's the former black players of this man? Why are y'all not in front of cameras going, I denounce every fucking thing that Tommy Tuberville stands for? Yes, I played for him when I was at Auburn, but I do not agree with his views. Where y'all at? Where in the fuck are y'all at? Again, being a Republican in sports, I have no fucking problem with it. One of my favorite fucking spectacles is professional wrestling. I know for a fucking fact there is a large majority of Republicans in there. Doesn't stop me from enjoying the shit, but I just don't believe with any of their goddamn politics. But my problem is when your political fucking views seep into American fucking society. I am a veteran. I am a veteran of the United States Army. I never had to have one of my promotions in front of Tommy Tuberville, but there have been lieutenant colonels going to colonel, colonels going to brigadier general, brigadier general going to lieutenant general, lieutenant general going to major general, and so on and so on and so on across all branches. The fact that this fucking man held those goddamn promotions up because of his bullshit belief in abortion rights will show you what kind of man this is. This is a man that thought the idea of getting white supremacists out of the service, out of the United States military, something every fucking good NCO, whether they're black, white, or otherwise, would want to have happen. He thought it was a problem. He called it Biden's woke ideology. It's woke to not want to serve next to a white fucking supremacist? Are you kidding me? And I don't hear a single person that ever played at the University of Auburn under Tommy fucking Tuberville saying a goddamn thing. I don't hear y'all say shit. Explain to me why. What happened? Did you get too much? Is there too much fucking food in your mouth? What the fuck? What the fuck? Because the only people at this point that can tell Tommy Tuberville to shut the fuck up are the people that have either known Tommy Tuberville and played for Tommy Tuberville. He ain't listening to the rest of us. He's not. And the fact that he sat here and said that bullshit Alabama Supreme Court ruling, he agreed with it because we need to have more babies. He's not talking about people that look like me. He's talking about people that look like Tommy Tuberville. Because once again, the birth dearth comes back to bite us in the ass. The idea that by 2050, Caucasian people will be the minority in the United States. And motherfuckers like Tommy Tuberville are running for the goddamn hills. And they're allowing their white supremacist beliefs to flow out of their fucking mouth. Where in the fuck are the black players that played for this man to stand up and tell Tommy Tuberville, you are wrong? Where the fuck are y'all?
something funny which is happening in the US. Of course, we have immigrants who are coming to the USA today. Yes, the population of immigrants are coming. We have Spaniards, we're having Africans, we're having a different group of people, Asians, people getting into the US, and the population keeps on compiling. This leaves who will become a minority. It means that in the future, chances are that the white people will become a minority, because if population of other races keeps on increasing while the population of a black person continues to decline, this means that with time the population of the whites in the US will decline. And right now they are things that they are trying to do, including the in vitro fertilization, IVO. They try to use these methods to increase their population. And I don't know if this is a way which God works for black people, because the population of black people keeps on increasing and there is no problem. No matter how they make it so hard for black women giving birth, especially in the US, no matter how they keep on making the black population, the mortality rate of the black population increase, I mean, it's like nothing is happening to the population, of the black population, but rather it's eating the white population. Do you think why? I don't know. Maybe tell me about this in the comment section, because I believe that such kind of discourse, we need to discuss about them, because they affect us. They affect us. And oh God, it was a point when a certain European white person said that we need to depopularize Africa because we are becoming a baggage. But right now, what are they doing? They're using different methods just to increase their population. Now, who is laughing last? As they usually say, who laughs last loves the best. Now, Africans, black people, we are just here. I mean, like, there's nothing wrong with us. We might be having our own difficulties back in Africa, but birth rate, population is not a problem, because population is increasing, and that's what Africa needs, the population. Because in every group of 4 people, the future holds that 1 or 2 will be black people, most especially African. Yes. While the other groups are becoming extinct, African population keeps on growing, black population keeps on growing. The other day, I don't know, was it Korean or China, what they were saying that if you can give birth, if you can continuously giving birth, they'll be paying you to do that. That's how desperate now they are becoming. This is because they made us believe that having children, even back in Africa, teenagers are made to believe that having children is a bad thing. But look at how it's eating them. A number of chemicals are being used. People are using different things to, to not give birth, to not procure pregnancy, you know what I'm saying? And with these things, it comes and eats them back. Right now, they want children. They can't find children. The population keeps on decreasing. The white population keeps on decreasing. Whereas in Africa, it's the opposite. While they try to make African teenagers believe that being pregnant, having pregnancy is a bad thing, blah, 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 making Africans not to believe in marriage system. These are things which were there even before white people came. And we have marriage systems in Africa, things that worked for us as Africans. And missing things which are happening in the US today makes me question a lot of things, because tell me, why would a person who told Africans not to give birth, not to have children, are the same people who are now will pay people just to give birth? They will pay people just to give birth. And painfully, they'd also pay black women not to give birth. What's the agenda? I know right now I'm eating a sensitive topic, but what's the agenda? The US is declining. Every now and then I keep on telling you this. It is manifested in population. It is manifested in how they can't manage their own workforce. Every day immigrants are keep on, they putting immigrants in the country, in the US, uh, um, guys, tell me what you think about this in the comment section, because there is something that I'm saying that probably most people still are not saying. In the coming future, there is a race which will become extinct. At the end of the time, we'll come back to black people, where it all started. Tell me what you think in the comment section. If you watched this video till this point, consider subscribing to the channel, consider joining my membership, like the video, share with your family so that they can know and get this awareness. I believe that it's important. If you watched this video till this point, all salutes to you. Until then, peace, love, and harmony. Salute.